Morning. How's everybody doing? Good? How many we got here so far? We've got Sarah, Cielo, OJ. We've got Ohio type weather going on over here, Cielo. It's 50 degrees. It's freezing for us.
50 degrees is a heat wave. I would
I'm
be wearing
telling
my
you.
shorts right now.
You should see all the Floridians in their Parkers, the parkas and the hoodies and the gloves. It's freezing outside.
Oh my God. I think it's like
Mm-hmm.
36 here. Let me see what time. I think it's like 36 here. I want to come out there. I want to get my license in Orlando and come and sell for you guys. Seriously.
Bring it.
I am.
Yeah. Come
Yeah,
on.
let's talk about it later. I mean, I want to keep my Ohio license too. But
Angie's doing it. Angie sells in Florida.
yeah, I want to do that because I feel like I could sell in Florida in the winter and in
Yeah.
Ohio in the
Be a
summer.
snowbird.
Yeah. So
That's
um
awesome.
awesome.
Let us know. We'll get y'all set up with it.
Okay, let's talk about it afterwards for real.
Okay. Sounds like a plan. Let's see who else we got jumping on here. Victor, Amanda. So while we're just waiting, we'll give you just like 3-4 minutes. You guys can tell me about your wins. It's the new year. Any new deals you guys got going on or anything exciting happening in the new year for you? Ooh,
29
rough.
degrees.
That
I'm
is
just saying.
chilly.
But it feels like
Okay.
14, so it's good.
Yeah, that's rough.
I got my first listing. As
Oh,
I
very
said,
nice.
it's a listing and a buyer. And the buyer is actually using our lender, our Zillow lending. So I'm very excited about that one.
Very nice. Now, I did give Angie a new Zillow Home Loans Spanish speaking lender who's phenomenal. Her name is Pilar Lanos.
He
I
left.
highly recommend to use her because she is the bomb. So she'll
Perfect.
be rolling that out to you guys this week. But this lady is sharp as a tack. She is like she follows up so much. It's crazy. So she's gonna be a good fit for you guys. So Sarah, how was your week last week?
It was good. I worked over looking into the Zillow home loans and figured out like all the information and kind of like the big talking points on that.
Okay. And so, what would you say are the top three benefits of using Zillow Home Loans?
The flat $1,500 origination fee,
Mm-hmm.
appraisal cost, and the speed, and then the negotiation advantage of having like another opinion.
Okay. So, if I'm a new lead, let's say you're sitting in the kitchen and you're showing a property. Now it's time to talk a little bit about next steps. How would you introduce Zillow Home Loans to me?
Um, Well, I think it gets like introduced in the initial call, but I would probably like ask them, "Hey, did you ever get like did Zillow Home Loans ever reach out to you?" And try to bring it up that way.
Okay. So, there's a couple of ways you can go about it. I was dusting off one of my old books. This is a book called Exactly What to Say. And it's just gives you, it's a short read, gives you examples of just sales topics that you can kind of infuse into your business. And so here's a sales topic or a sales example that you can use on introducing Zillow Home Loans. So this says, this is the I'm not sure if it's for you tactic. Okay. So this is a soft way to introduce a product such as ZHL to a consumer. So these are examples that you could use. This is a rejection-free approach that creates a simple outcome. Okay. One or two things will happen. Your listener leans in and asks for more information because they are personally interested, or in the very, very worst case scenario, they say, we'll give it some thought, right? So this is a way to introduce. I'm not sure if it's for you, or not. However, we have a partnership with Zillow Home Loans that gives great value for our consumers. They have free appraisals. They have a very low origination charge of $1,500. Also, they can close in as little as 10 to 15 days. Okay.
I have a question. So the
Sure.
originating fees are $1,500?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that's really good. What is that? So can we
Hold that
get
thought,
like,
Cielo. I'm gonna come back to that. 1 second. Let me just finish this part. So when we're introducing this is the soft introduction. We're able to say, hey, listen, I'm not sure if you'd be interested or not, or hey, I'm not sure where you are in the process, if you have your approval or not. But if you have not, I'd love to introduce you to Zillow Home Loans. And here's those options, right? Here's the value that they provide. And I would love to have you start a conversation. Oh, I'm not interested. Oh, I have a lender. Okay, great. Have you ever thought about shopping around? Do you think it's worth a 10-minute or a 5-minute call to save yourself maybe $9,000 to $10,000, right? So that is a soft introduction that you can use to Zillow Home Loans. Okay. So, and I'm gonna come back to you, Cielo. So this is the way I want you guys to introduce Zillow Home Loans. I want you guys to first just mention it briefly on the call, right? Hey, not sure if you'd be interested, but we have a partnership with Zillow Home Loans. If you're in the need of an approval, I could definitely get you in contact with them, right? Soft introduction. You're just putting it out there. You're dropping a little hints rather. And then when you're actually in person, then you're going to do the soft sell, right? So go ahead, Cielo. Go back to you. What was your question? You're on mute.
So no, the one I like this, and I am selling the lender, the Zillow lending program. So if it's 1,500, what is well, how can we put that in the context? Because they're with my clients, they're all, they're all under $200,000. So they're, this like pops in their and I usually say originating fees are a lot lower than most other lenders. But if it's $1,500, what are we comparing it to? What can we legally say?
I would say, the average, so use your experience. What is the average origination charges that you've seen on an Alta statement?
So when I look at closing costs, it could be over $3,000.
There you go. There's your example. So I've seen an average of about $3,000 in origination charges. That means half of your origination charges get cut. But let's just put it in perspective. So if I say to you, Cielo, hey, we're going to reduce your origination charges to $1,500, what does it really ultimately mean? It means that we're going to cut your closing costs down, right? So we're going to save you money by using Zillow Home Loans, number one. And then obviously you're a fierce negotiator. So I'm also going to help you save money because I'm going to help you get more closing costs concessions from the seller. So my goal for you as an agent is to have you spend as little out of pocket besides your down payment and what's, minimum required. My goal is to get you to spend, as little as possible. And so if you use me and my partners, Zillow Home Loans, you're going to be able to save thousands of dollars, right? That's a little bit more impactful than just, hey, do you need a pre-approval? We need to be able to paint that picture for our clients, okay? So if you guys aren't driving, if you don't mind leaving your cameras on, I would love to see your guys' faces. It gets a little boring talking to thumbnail pictures. So that would be great. So, all right. So I'm going to go back on and talk about just kind of where we're at for the new year. Obviously I already covered goals with you last week. And so now it's time to get back on track. So I want to hear from you guys individually, how your start to the new year is going, how many calls you made, how many appointments you had, and how many appointments, calls. What was the other thing I'm looking for? Appointments, calls, and new leads you got. Okay, so I'll let you start it, OJ. How was your week?
It was pretty smooth. I wasn't here for half of the week. I had to go down to Fort Lauderdale for a baby appointment. However, it's been going pretty well. I do have a client that I'm meeting with later today to look over their property before listing it that I got from Zillow.
Okay. So I'm not talking about this week yet. You can tell me about this week, next week. I want to know last week.
Okay.
So you were gone, baby appointment, travel a little bit.
Yeah.
What productivity did you have that helped you towards your goals?
Well, I will be honest. I'm not sure I've done anything productive on my side. I've been really just answering the calls from Zillow and doing what I need to do with them.
Okay. So that's fair, right? So we all have those weeks. I felt like shit on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Excuse my language, but I felt terrible. I was still powering through, and I want you to do the same, right? I want you guys. You're gonna notice that my tone's gonna be a little bit more stern this year. And just to give you a little background here, I also get coaching as well. And so I literally pay somebody to talk to me in a negative way and tell me how much I suck, right? So I'm not going to do that. I'm going to be a little more positive, but I want you guys to push as much as possible and really challenge yourself. I want to stretch you guys. So this week, it's all about redemption week. Go out there. I want you to make 75 calls, right? I want to raise the bar, make 75 calls, get yourself 3 to 5 new leads per week, right? And then let's see what next week looks like for you. Okay. So you got an appointment this week for listing. That's huge. Let's go out there and power through and start stepping up the game.
Gotcha.
Cool.
Yep.
All right. So since I'm being like that with you guys, let me just share my week, right? So I keep track of my leads and my stuff. Can't see because it's kind of blurry, but I made 40 calls last week. My goal is 75. So I'm going to get reamed out by my coach, but I had 7 face-to-face meetings last week. And I did 2 email blasts, and also I took 2 new contracts, and I got 4 new leads last week. That was a down week for me, right? So I want to see you guys go back and try to beat me and make your 75 calls, get your face-to-face meetings and really push forward. Cool? All right, Cielo, tell me about your week last week.
I had a really good week last week. I'm just doing my numbers. So I had over, I think I had over 20 contacts that I dealt with. I was trying to do at least 5 hours a day on prospecting, which is just, I'm not really getting into the system with Follow Up Boss. So just really getting that going.
Okay.
I had one listing appointment that I landed, so that should be going live by Wednesday. So my goal is to get 2 contracts a week. I had an offer that my buyer made on a property, but it was dealing with a wholesaler. The terms that they were doing with the assignment was just bad. And so that could have been an easy $3,000. But the wholesaler was just horrible to work with. So I think that's falling through, but that's okay. And then I'm just kind of just trying to crank it. There were a lot of appointments that I've made. I made a lot of appointments, and I'll have my numbers ready next week because I do try to keep the tracking. I just didn't get to do it this morning. But a lot of tours were canceled. My leads were not responsive. I have one lead that they want to see like 4 houses, and we had it scheduled for this Saturday and they changed, but they want to do it next Saturday. I just think it's the weather. People get lazy.
Sure.
And they don't want to come out. So, but I'm keeping it up on that.
So what's the way to beat the weather? You have to find someone's true motivation, right? So who is that person? You don't have to answer this, but who is the person that is looking to buy and has to buy right away? They're going to go out with their weather regardless, right?
Well, I think that for me, what I learned, like what I could do better, like what can I do better is, it's just kind of getting used to the system, is being able to call everybody, like making sure that I call and get in contact with them. So that's probably making that connection is probably what's going to make it. Just, to say, hey, I'll bring you a hot cup of hot chocolate. I don't know, but
yeah, whatever it takes. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you had a good week. Next week, just be able to rapid fire that stuff. Like, hey, 75 calls, 5 face-to-face meetings, whatever the case may be. Sounds like you're off to a busy start to the year. And I love that you're tracking your stuff and you're making your calls. you might benefit from some like theme days or something that just kind of keeps you a little bit more organized or whatever. But I love to hear that you're off to a good start. So how many you have pending right now?
Yeah. I have one closing this week. It was supposed to close on Friday, but the POS is we just waiting for the POS inspector who was being a hot shot and didn't, just nitpicking. So we just did an extension to this before this Friday. So that will be the very first lead I got on Zillow in South Euclid, which is like way east of me, and it's a cash deal and it's closing this Friday. So I'm very excited about that. So my hope is that I can get that keep going. And then I got the one listing and hoping I have a lot of warm leads of a lot of investors that we're trying to make appointments and do and make offers. So those are my calls today. Today is like my follow up with everybody that they're asking, like they ask for, like they'll come through Zillow and they're investors that are looking in the areas. And so what I do is I send them all the information and the supplements, and then we have conversation about what's a good, are we making an offer? Are we making an offer? So just
Okay.
kind of right now tightening the noose on those guys right now. I do have a question. I have a broker that's from out of town that wants me to show my listing on my 8th unit that I have on the east side. I've always had very bad experiences with doing like working with out of town brokers. And so what I provide, my question is, what I said to him was like, hey, listen, I have no problem showing it for you, but then this is a referral since you don't have anybody to show it. And he's like, no, I'm going to hire a broker. I can, I work it like I have it, but he wants me to do the buyer's broker's job for the same commission that we're offering the buyer's agent. And I said, well, when are you going to be back in town? And he's like, 5 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. I was like, you're asking me to do your job. I've just had very bad experiences. I don't know what recommendations you have. To me, it's like, it's a referral. You want me to do the job and you're out of town. Like, it's a referral fee. It's not a,
I don't know. I'm partial to that because I also, sorry, my dog's driving me nuts. I'm partial to that because I want to develop relationships with brokers and agents as well. And sometimes I'll do that person the solid and show the house for their client or whatever. And if it means that your listing's going under contract, maybe just deal with it. Obviously if you're showing some random house, maybe not, but
well, no, this is an 8 unit. It's a significant tour that I have to do. And I'm having a lot of, like, it's a big deal. And I talked to the agent, like, I was very nice. And now he's like, what, it's a $250,000 deal with a potential of 350 with architectural plans. But the problem is that he's asking me to do everything. And if it's like, it's just
like the contract and stuff too.
No, he'll say, I'll write it up. And I was like, well, yeah, but now, like, for me, it's sort of like he's going to have me meet the client. And so when we do the inspection, when we do the appraisal, like, he's going to be gone for all of that stuff. He's not planning to be here.
I'm with you. I would say, hey, just kick me back 25%.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I would ask for a little bit of a referral if I'm doing all that.
Yeah, and that's what I've told him. He's like,
down.
would you just do it? I was like, I'm sorry. Like, I've just had a lot of bad experiences where, like, these out of town people look at properties in other states and then expect the seller's agent. So I'm okay, good. I'm kind of sticking
you don't
to my
want to
guns
lose the
on that.
buyer, so you're in a tough situation.
Well, but I could
so-
be using, I could be, that time that I'm spending doing all of that, I could be making calls and follow-ups too. Like, I just feel that's a trade-off.
Yeah, I'm with you. I would
Okay.
say that too. Like, hey, I'm losing some time. Yeah, I'm going to get the deal, but I'm also going to spend a lot of time with your buyer. I
Yeah.
think that's fair. I think it's worth 25% referral back to me.
Gotcha.
So, all right, cool.
Okay.
Let's see. Sarah, tell me about your week.
I learned about the Zillow home loans, and then
Yep.
I also worked more on those calls and like navigating that and how to talk through the conversations with the script that you've given us or that Matt has given us. Just practicing more of that, and then learning about the Zillow home loans, and then just learning about like home buying process in general.
Okay. So homework for you for this week is make 20 calls per day in the lead bucket, in the follow-up boss lead pool. and just start working through some objections. I think it's going to be good experience for you. If you don't know how to get there, reach out to Dana. She's on the call. She can get you set up with the lead pool. But I want to make sure you're starting to make some calls and getting your feet wet with some action with, handling those objections. Hey, I'm not interested. Okay, well, tell me what you were looking for, right? And all those different things. So that's a little bit of homework for you. Okay. And let us know how it goes.
I did have a quick question about the
Sure.
lead pool. Is there a way to see, like, because I don't want to, I don't know if I should be calling people that like other people are also
The
calling.
lead pool is open for everybody. Yep.
So how do you see, like, if someone had just called someone like an hour before you call them, or is that just something you just don't really worry about?
You don't worry about it. Just make your calls.
Okay.
If they say, "Hey, I spoke to an agent already," okay, great, move on. Right? I
Okay.
think it's gonna be good for you to do this because you're gonna get some thick skin pretty quickly, and you're gonna get those objections. You're gonna have people that are like, "Hey, I'm not interested," or whatever. That's fine. Well, at some point you were interested, so tell me exactly what you were looking for. What's your goals, right? What's your real estate goals? What are you looking to do this year? And get straight and short to the point with those clients. Those are good calls for you to make.
Okay.
All right. All right. Let's see. Taisha, how was your week?
Good morning. My week was good. I was getting organized. I did a couple showings. I'll be writing up an offer this afternoon sometime. And I got a showing today at 12 also.
Okay.
Basically for the rest of my week now, I'm gonna meet with Vincent at the office and we're gonna make calls. So if anybody wants to join.
Love it.
So try and get the ball rolling here.
All right. So for you, what are your goals this year about transaction wise? What do you want to try to do?
I want to do 30 transactions.
Are you trying to beat Pam Carter? Is that what it is?
I am.
All right. You got some catching up to do. She's got 4 pending already for the year. So sounds like you're going to have one. You just need to find yourself 3 more to catch up. She's feeling sick, I think, from this weekend. So you got like a couple days a head start.
Yep. I do want to meet with Dana, maybe Alicia, just to make sure all of everything's set on my side. I know yesterday I did get a Zillow call, but I don't know if I have to like
just save that and call Dana after the call.
Yeah, we'll do.
All right. Hey, for everybody that's local, we are going to have tomorrow. We're going to have a lender at the office.
Okay.
Also, we're going to have the home inspector, Matt from Central Florida Inspect or whatever it's called. And then also I'm going to be talking about the lead process and just doing a little in-depth diving into sales 101 with you guys and just some real estate stuff. So if you guys haven't done 10 or more transaction required for you to be there,
okay.
I'm sure you guys are going to say, I can't go, I have work, whatever, but it's a priority that you guys be there because it'll be good time spent for you. So
you
it
said
starts
tomorrow
at
at
11.
the Lake Nona office?
Yes, Lake Nona office.
What time?
11.
Perfect. I'll be there.
Yep. Give yourself 2.5, 3 hours because we're going to go in depth. So it'll be time well spent.
Sounds
and I'll
good.
put out a
Thank
reminder in the group chat today. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Jeffrey, how was your week last week?
Hey, how you doing? We're trying to get back into a rhythm. I had a rhythm going before of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, what I was doing, and so I'm trying to get back into that rhythm. You can hear me okay?
Yep.
Yeah, cool. So I'm trying to swing into the open houses side. So I did an open house for a different Keller Williams person here at the local office. And then I was going to a couple of open houses just here right around where I live. Getting to know those listing agents and then see if I could do some open houses for them. Other than that, I had 25 touches and I got 3 people out for showings for 2 different existing clients that I'm playing with. And I got a couple of new leads out of the week. But I'm having to gear down my expectation for 2026 from a full-time to a part-time because my past job is not letting go as easy as I was thinking they would. So I'm having to put more hours back into them a little bit.
Okay. So still sounds like you had a decent week for being part-time, 25 touches. 3 showings, 2 new leads. I would say if you feel like your super strength are open houses and you're gaining some traction with that, do that. Right. I think the phone call touches are great because you can really build your skill set very quickly on the phones. And it's the fastest way to get yourself some deals. But also, I do recognize that some people are better in person than on the phone. So if that's your super strength, go for it. But for you, it sounds like you need to get yourself a system. Like, what am I going to be doing week to week that fits within my schedule? So I would start time
Yep.
blocking and really diving into that. And then let me know what that looks like so I can hold you accountable to it.
For sure, for sure. When I know, I'll let you know. I'm trying to find my superpower, man. So we did the phone call side. I'm playing with the open houses. I have one commercial client that I'm playing with as well. I like the open houses. I like the interaction. I like the live.
Okay.
So that's going to be cool, I think.
So start doing at least 3 a week.
I like that.
Do
Yeah.
3 a week and make sure you're consistent. Play with the times, right? Morning, afternoon, evening, weekends, whatever works for you in your schedule. So you don't have to tell us that, but just it has to be consistent, right? So if you're constant and target an area where you know it's high traffic, good price points, all that kind of stuff. Because what we don't want to do is have you in a gated neighborhood out in the middle of no man's land. Nobody's coming to that, right? So it's a waste of your time. So pick an area that you know that's high traffic
Okay.
and high net worth individuals. Okay.
Right. Gotcha. Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Cool. Amanda, how are you?
Hey, I'm fine. So I had a pretty busy week last week. I submitted two BBAs. I submitted an offer. I'm pending a response today. I am in the process of doing one referral to KW agents in New Jersey. I have referred 3 buyers to lenders, and I actually did a showing on one of my listings.
Okay. Great week.
Yeah, it
So
was.
the offer thing, I want to pose a question because I've been having this happen to me.
Mhm.
Has anyone had the experience with offers where you're not getting a quick enough response on your offers? Like, is it taking a while for listing agents to respond to you guys? Because it's
I
happening to
think
me.
I think this guy is trying to, I don't know, I don't know if he's aware of the market that we're in, because the house went in the market about 9 days ago, and he claimed he has all these offers that were submitted. And I asked him, well, how many do you have? Well, I haven't, I didn't do a count of it yet. And I was like, well, are they all written offers or just verbal? He was like, most of them are verbal. So it seems like mine is the only one that was submitted. But he was like, oh, we're just waiting for the highest and best by Monday. But I don't think this is the market for him to be waiting for highest and best offers.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of agents play
Mhm.
games
Yeah,
with
he's
that.
playing games.
I've
Mhm.
had some agents say, "Is this your best offer?" I'm waiting for. I had a lot of showings and all this other
Mhm.
nonsense, and at the end of the day, I'm getting to the point where it's pissing me off, and I'm just starting to do deadlines on the offers. Right, so
Exactly. So,
get to that point where you're just putting a deadline on the offer, like, hey, I'm going to give you a deadline and it's going to be
mhm.
this day at that time, and that's it. And buyers have so many options right now, right?
Mhm.
And you need to prepare your buyers for this and let them know, like, hey, there's a risk to this, but I want to get you the best deal possible in the most time efficient way. And here's what we're experiencing in the market. So what I'd like to do is to be able to put a timestamp on that, or an expiration timestamp on that
Mhm.
offer. And here's that plan, right? So make sure you're communicating that with your buyers. But I don't want to see you guys get in the habit of making offers and then having lots of letdown because you'll lose buyers that way. So let's get ahead of it and start putting some timestamps on those offers and making sure that these listing agents are not playing those games with you guys.
I
So
mean, I always put a timestamp on an
okay,
offer
good.
because it's there on the contract. But this is like my second offer for this client. The first one, we submitted one. It was below what they were asking for, and then he countered back at his asking price. My buyer decided to go with his asking price, and we're still waiting for a response.
Mm.
So I just told him to find something else because, you know, she's like, well, I'm waiting for a broker to get back. When the broker get back, I'll make a decision because I want to do another investment property before I sell this one. Perhaps you shouldn't have put it on the market, you know, but
Right. So I'll tell you really quickly. I was going back and forth with an agent. Same deal, was dragging it out, and I was getting really pissed with the agent. I'm like, listen, you've got till this time. Here's another, we updated our offer. I gave them, hey, you give us a response by 7 o'clock or the offer's canceled. And her and I were going back and forth through text, and it got a little ugly. And you guys don't know me at all, but I'm pretty rough when it comes to negotiation. Like, I'm pretty stout and want to make sure I get to the point.
Yeah.
But I talked to the agent over the phone instead of texting, and we mutually agreed on trying to be a little bit nicer to each other. We both apologized. We were on the same page, and we actually smoothed out the deal. So be cautious. I'm trying to get you guys to be more fierce negotiators, but also, that other broker can make or break the deal as well. So make sure you're having that communication. Sounds like you have good dialogue with your other broker, but just make sure you guys are fierce, but also make sure you're communicating with that person, because we do need, that win-win situation. So it sounds like you're doing a great job. I love the activity. Are you tracking your calls, outbound dials, and your activities?
Yeah, I think I made about 50 calls last week. I know I should be, trying to get about 100. I connect with about 7 people, but it's the same old where I'm gonna sell my own house because I've sold it before. I'm good, I don't need a listing agent. I'll sell them my own. So can't argue with folks if they don't want to work with you. They don't want to work with you. So that's it.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, you can only help so many people, right? You're just looking for that one.
Exactly.
So just a reminder, you guys are all considered best of Zillow because you're on the team, right? So you've got that little tag next to your name. So I always like to use that as an added benefit, because when they use us, they also get that, tag next to their home. And also we have showcase listings as well through Zillow. So that means that all their properties will go to the top of the list as the consumer is searching. So there's some added benefits to being best of Zillow. Use those, those little extra tidbits for your marketing or whatever the case may be. I love the activity. So keep it going, and I'm sure you're going to hit your goals. As far as the 50 calls versus 7 contacts, I track contacts, right? So when I say I made 40, that's 40 contacts, and I probably made 100 calls to get to the 40. So try to push up that contact to more like 25, and then start building and trying to get you to 50 contacts a week. I know it's hard because you're having a busy week, but it sounds like you're off to a good start for the year.
Thank you, Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job. All right. Who is next? Let's see. Ingrid, how are you?
Hi, good morning. I'm doing good. How about yourself?
Good. Thank you. How was your week?
It was good. I did 69 phone calls. Some of those peoples were from the lead pool. Some of them said that they're not buying anymore. I have 2 new clients. I have 2 showings last week, and I'm making appointments right now to do a showing today.
Okay. So a pretty good week. What is your goal again for the year? Remind me.
I'm with Taisha, following Pam's, jumping into Pamela's bus.
All right. So we need massive amount of activity to get there, right?
Yeah.
Until the skill set matches the output, meaning as we are newer agents, we have to maybe do a little bit more than the other agent that's a little bit more skilled, right? So we're going to have to really triple, maybe quadruple the activity until the skill set catches up.
Yeah.
So what I mean by skill set is when I listen to a lot of the calls that you guys are making, the newer agents, a lot of it is, hey, are you interested? No. Okay. Thank you. Bye. And right. So I want you to make it a point to really dive deeper with your clients and push back a little bit more. Well, hey, you're not interested, but at some point in time you were. So tell me what happened in your situation, right? Because someone can tell you no, and if you just take no at face value, there may be an underlying reason as to why they can't buy, and maybe you can help them with that so that they can eventually buy, right? So someone might tell you no, but turns out they are only waiting for an additional 6 more months because they had a job transfer and they need more time here, or they have to wait another year because they changed jobs and the approval didn't work, or the debt to income ratio is too high. So maybe they need to move some money around. So there's lots of variables there, but I want you to go deeper with the clients and don't just take no for face value. And that's face to face as well, right? So this will help you when you start to go deeper with the clients. You're asking why, right? We're being more inquisitive. I think that will help you work through the objections. And that should work also in person when you're showing homes. What do you think about this home? Is this the one? No. Okay, we'll tell you why it's not the one. What would be considered the one? What would make this a 10 in your opinion? Right? So take that time to go deeper and wider with your clients. And that goes for your phone calls as well, because I think you may uncover that people may just be, one phone call away or one, extra help away. Maybe they just need some light credit repair or a rapid rescore, or maybe they just need some help in the right way that will get them there. So be that guiding light for them. Okay.
Yeah.
See, the activity's there. Let's just go deeper. And we may need to bump up the activity to get where Pam is. We're going to have to really ramp up. I
Yeah.
think you guys can do it, but we just have to just really start diving in and building a sense of urgency with our clients. I don't want you guys just showing houses just for shits and giggles. I want you showing houses to clients who are looking to purchase now. Right. So, for example, I had a client I was showing last week. He wanted to buy right away. Okay, great. We got him under contract with my listing. Now I had to get my seller under contract. So I spent the last few days getting that person under contract. Well, now that I've got those two contracts, I'm not sitting here worried about, oh, well, hey, I need to do inspections, this and that. No, I'll figure all that out as we go. My next goal is, all right, who am I getting under contract this week? So now I'm calling my buyers who I didn't really work with last week to get them back in the fold for this week. That make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I like the activity. Let's just keep riding the wave. But I want to see some progress with you making some contracts and stuff like that. I know you do as well. So the appointments that are going on in the WhatsApp group, you guys got to get on those, right? So if you're looking to do numbers like Pam, for you guys that don't know, Pam did 30 last year. It takes massive amount of activity. And I see these appointments when Gene is throwing out these appointments. And now we have a second dialer, in case you guys didn't know. His name is Hans. So these appointments are going to start coming more frequently, and we're not getting to them fast enough. Also, real-time touring leads, we missed over 100 in the month of December as a team. That's Cleveland, Cleveland, Orlando, Winter Haven, and Dallas. So between Dallas, we missed 100 leads last month of real-time touring. So I want to make sure that when you see an appointment, you see a phone call, you see a Zillow lead, we got to snag it. The more that we snag, the more that we can get. Okay. So it's super important that if you see that call, I don't care what you're doing. If you're in a showing, step out, like let's start snagging some calls. If you can't take the appointment, give it to somebody else. Let's help each other. And as we all grow, we'll grow together and we'll get better. But the more leads that we can take, the more market share that we get. So the next month is stronger, and so on and so forth. So every single month will be stronger if we can just go and get as many leads as possible. So we're slated for over 300 calls as a group for February. But if we don't get our answer rate up, which means we need to answer more calls, that number will dwindle. So we got to keep it up. I know you guys all want leads, but we're missing a lot of Zillow stuff right now, which could be helpful for you, especially the new agents. So snag as many as you can. So that's a general statement. That's just not to you, Ingrid. All right. Moving on here. So let's go to Ricardo.
Hey, good morning, Angel.
How are you?
I'm good. So for the week, I made 46 calls. I got 5 new leads. I met with 2. Well, I had actually 4 appointments, but 2 of them canceled. Hopefully it's going to be for this week. And met with 2, and I was able to get 2 contracts.
Nice. That's a solid week, my friend. So you're on the leaderboard already. So you got 3 for the year so far. So you're just 1 behind Pam. So my guess is that you've been steadily working through the holidays and hitting leads. Is that accurate?
Yes, I've been, answering the phones and everything, meeting with clients. So hopefully I can get more.
So I don't think you were on last week's call. What is your goal for the year?
I mean, I was just trying to do the math and everything. I know last year, I didn't do as good. I was thinking of doing, but I'm thinking like 20. I mean, trying to push to 20.
Okay, I think it's more than doable. So, your past life, work wise, you were in car sales, right?
That's correct. Yes.
So, what did a day in the life look like on the lot for you?
I mean, I'm used to talking to people, meet them face to face, everything, making phone calls, try to get them to the door and everything. And I feel that I've been doing that in real estate. It's just, I think just the hard part is just getting in front of people. But once you do it, I think, in my opinion, it shouldn't be that hard. I'm pretty sure you can just transition it to a contract or something.
Yep.
So that's the right questions.
Yeah. So I think, that skill set of that hustling mentality where like I need to get my next car sale. I'm on the lot. I'm standing there looking for someone to buy the next vehicle, whatever the case may be. I think that skill set really translate, and I think we can all learn from that. It's all about the hustle mentality, right? And know it's kind of cliche to say, but that hustle mentality, like we're always looking for the next sale, and we're always hustling and bustling, trying to get to the next client. I think is important, and it's an important skill set to have. But I think we go back and we refer to Pam's and some of the other agents that do really well. They have that where they're always on, and that's the key to success, is that they're always pushing forward, regardless if it's a down week, regardless if they're sick, regardless if it's a holiday. We're always pushing forward. So I think you can definitely hit 20. In fact, I think you could probably get up to 30 really with that mentality. So I'd like to see you really push for 30 as well. So we've got some folks that are really pushing for some big numbers. I'd love to see it. Go ahead, OJ.
So I wanted to say, just to piggyback off that, because I understand with the hustle and the determination and things like that. I believe my issue would be that I lack a bit of skills and knowledge on how to properly move forward with certain things, because I have extreme hustle and grit. So that's
Okay.
no problem for me at all. It's just I think I'm lacking on like the building the proper systems, knowing how to build the proper systems, knowing what to say and the knowledge and things like that. I think that's more so what I'm slacking on, that I could use a bit of assistance on. But
Yeah. So this is a great topic. So if you guys have examples of that, because it's really general, so I can give you a lot more in-depth skills training as it relates to any kind of sales related to real estate, but maybe just a little bit more dialed in. So what I mean by that is if you struggle on the phones with objections, or you struggle with setting appointments, that's one thing. Or if it's, hey, I know when I'm showing houses, I struggle with the in-person portion. Maybe it's that part. So do you have something a little bit more specific that you're referencing, or?
I would say the in-persons, of course. When I first started real estate, I was mainly doing cold calling, so I got better at that, and I'm pretty decent at that. I'm not the best, but I'm getting better and better as I do it more and more. But the in-person showings and things like that, those are fairly new to me, because when I was a single agent, I didn't have much showings. I would just
Got it. All right.
call.
So, are you in Winter Haven?
Yes.
Okay. So, I would say you would benefit from an in-person showings training. So we'll hold one this week. I'll make sure that Matt and Sam put that on the books for you guys. So we'll take you to a new construction site and then walk you around and show you the best way to show. But what I will tell you is this: a lot of agents, and you guys give me a thumbs up if you've done this before, or a hand raise or whatever. We open the door and we let the client in, and we all right, hey, go ahead and take a look and let me know what you think. Be honest, you guys have all done it before.
I've definitely done that.
Right? Nobody's giving a thumbs up, so nobody's being honest right now. Rando Ricardo's done it too. I've done it before. I've had days where I feel like crap, and I still do it, and it's not the best way to do it. The best way to do it is obviously be there first, right? So a lot of agents lose the client in the first 30 seconds because they're late, or because they show up and they're not dressed professionally. And I'm not saying this is for you, OJ, but so we want to look our best, right? Number one. Number two, we want to show up on time, and we want to show up organized and focused and not disheveled, right? So give yourself time to get there. Best practice is get there 15 to 30 minutes earlier than that client to the first house, open the door, have all the lights on, open up all the blinds so the house looks nice and lit up. And when they walk in the door, we walk out to greet them outside, shake hands, kiss babies, all that good stuff, walk that person in. And then now we're walking them through the house together, right? And I walk into the door, I go to the left. Typically bedrooms are on the left-hand side. Sometimes it can be on the right, but if it's all the bedrooms are on the left, just start to the left. Or if all the bedrooms are on the right, just start to the right. Go straight to the right and just start pointing out bedrooms. All right. Right here, we have, 2 bedrooms that split the bath right here. Go ahead and poke your head in there. What you'll see is, you've got some good sized closets in here. You've got, good natural lighting, whatever. Okay. And then we're starting to navigate that person throughout the house. We're starting to point out other things in the house, the mechanicals, AC, roof, plumbing, electrical. Have any of these updates been updated, right? And those are the things that we're talking about. Hey, so what you're going to find in this house is that all the plumbing has been updated, right? The roof is brand new, or the roof was done in 2022, or HVAC, this, that, and the other. When we're starting to get to those areas, the HVAC, I'm actually navigating the client over and I'm pointing it out. Hey guys, I just want to show you, here's the AC unit. This is called the air handler, if you don't know already, right? So we need to have some product knowledge behind it as well. So I'll tell them this is the air handler, and this is typically where you'll find the age of the AC. We're looking for the manufacturer label. So right here, you can see this date is 2019. So that would tell us that the year is 2019. And so the next question they should have is, well, what's the expected life? What's the life expectancy of the AC unit, right? Do we all know the answer to central air life expectancy?
No.
We need to find that information out, right? So these are the things that set us apart from the other agents, right? So if we can say the age of this unit is 2019, the expected life expectancy that you can see on these units is typically between 10 to 15 years. So that tells us this has plenty of shelf life. Now, that's an average. That doesn't mean that this doesn't last for 20 years if it's treated right. Well, what's the maintenance of that? Okay, well, here's the maintenance plan for an AC unit. Every single month, you should be putting vinegar in that unit, right? And this is exactly where you're going to put it. So you're starting to educate. I promise you, if you're doing this in every single showing, now, not every single house, you're not telling them where to put the vinegar in the AC lines. But once you do it once, the next house, they're already looking for the AC unit, right? They're already like, oh, hey, I found that floater thing that you're talking about in the AC. Or here's the date. Here's the manufacturer label, right? So they're already kind of pointing it out. It becomes like a fun little game. So when you're doing it that way, your showings get a little bit more impactful, right? And when I'm going through the house, I'm talking about why this house, if it's not the one for them, why isn't it, right? And I'm asking them open-ended questions to get there. So, OJ, this has white cabinets. This kitchen has white cabinets. What do you think? And if it's the spouse, right? If the wife is there, I'm going to really ask what she thinks of the cabinets, because that's where she's probably going to spend most of her time typically is cooking, right? So, or whatever. If the husband, hold on, let me be politically correct here. If the husband does the cooking, whoever is the main chef in the house, you might want to clarify that, right? But typically the kitchen is more important to women than men, regardless, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
in my opinion, at
I'm
least.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm holding my line on this one.
Regardless, even if the husband
No,
cooks,
what
I
I'm
bet you he
saying-
could
no,
care
no.
less about the color.
I totally agree with you. I just think that it's very important nowadays to be like, so who's the chef of the house? Like,
Yeah.
you just
Yeah,
gotta make a
absolutely.
big deal out of it, and then you
Absolutely.
highlight them. That's kind of the best way to do it. Because believe me, I put my foot in my mouth several times, so I
Yes,
get it.
thank you. You are right. I do all the cooking in my house, by the way, so I do understand that. But I could care less about the cabinet colors. My wife would be more inclined to tell me which cabinets that I want versus what she wants.
Correct,
So-
but I feel like there's an opportunity there when you talk about the cabinets, when there's dual tone and white and like the cleaning, and like if you have dark cabinets, sometimes they don't like it. You're like, no, it's great for cleaning. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that you can have that dialogue
Sure.
with.
Yeah,
But
that's a great
but
point.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
why would somebody want white cabinets or dark cabinets versus light to that point, right? Because hey, it's going to be less maintenance, less cleaning, less wear and tear on the actual cabinets. It shows less wear and tear. So if you have a high traffic-y kind of family, a big family, light cabinets might not be the best for little kids or whatever. So use your discretion. But you guys get the point is my first showing with a client could take probably 45 minutes. Okay. That's in one house. So my first showing is 45 minutes at least, because as I'm doing all of this Q&A in the house, then I get to the kitchen and I stop. And I'm like, all right, so tell me what you thought. Oh, I really like the house. All right. Let's just say this house was the one. And I'm not telling them, I'm not asking them directly because I don't like to be, too pushy. I will say, let's hypothetically say together, this was the one. The next step for us is to do what? Write a contract, right? And then I walk them through that process. So we need to know what the next steps are as agents, right? So the next step in the process is to write an offer, okay? If we're going to write an offer, we're going to sit together and we're going to come up with a plan on what the numbers are going to look like. So we're going to create an offer together. So I say it together, right? I'm going to walk through the offer process. We're going to take a look at the comps and we're going to figure out together what's the best number to present. So let me ask the question. So Ingrid, why would I say to a client, we're going to look at the comps together and determine what's the best offer to present to the seller?
Because you wanted to, to get involved and that you're negotiating with them and they, we're a team working for their benefit.
Okay, close. Taisha, why would I want to let them know that we're going to look at the comps together and then we're going to decide together what's the best offer to present?
To make sure that that it's not overpriced.
Okay, kind of. What I'm looking for from you guys is I'm setting the tone that I'm going to help you determine what's the best price because I'm in charge. It's your money. I'm spending it, right? Because I am the real estate professional that's going to help you get this offer closed. Okay. And if you will do it that way, you're going to see yourself spinning your wheels less, meaning you're not going to see this. Well, we're going to offer $40,000 less and we're going to ask for $50,000 in concessions, right? We're all seeing that right now. This is a buyer's market and this, that, and the other. No, we're going to do it together. We're going to take a look at the comps and we're going to determine what's the average value in the neighborhood. And then we're going to determine, is this property good, better, and best in that value? Okay. So if we do it that way, that's going to help determine that you are in charge as a real estate professional and then we're going to do it together. So that all of this is a decision that we're doing mutually. Okay. So does that make sense to everybody? Okay. So we're determining the purchase price. We are determining the escrow amount, right? So when I say we, I'm letting them know that I'm part of that decision-making process and we're going to decide together and you're not telling me what to do as a realtor, right? This is my thing. I'm in charge here. So you're following my lead here. So in that offer process, we're going to talk about purchase price, escrow, inspections. How many days of inspections do we need? Do we need 15? Tell me you guys aren't putting 15 days on a contract. Okay, so let me ask you a question. Sean, why wouldn't I want to put 15 days on a contract?
I'm sorry, repeat that again, Angel.
Why would I not want to put 15-day inspection contingency on a contract?
For a house, vacant land, what type of property?
House.
I don't think that's enough time to do your inspection period.
You think we need more than 15 days?
No, I think you don't need 15 days.
Okay. So
Less.
what would be the ideal time that a client would need for an inspection?
I put 10 on mine.
Okay. 10 is fair. So I put 7.
Yeah,
Right.
I put 5 to 7 too. That's
Yep.
it.
And so the reason why I put 7 is because I want to get paid sooner.
Exactly.
Right. I want to get that buyer locked in. I don't want them searching on Zillow over and over again, changing their mind. Listen, at the end of the day, we're going to have 7 days, 10 days, whatever you think is fair, to decide if this is the best house for us or not. Okay. So we're going to do our inspections. We're going to do our due diligence. Make sure you guys are doing all your inspections. If it has septic, I'm telling you guys, one of you will do this. One of you will not read that the house is on septic and you will forget to do the inspection for the septic tank. Please do not do that. It's a costly mistake. So make sure you're doing your due diligence and you're doing all of your inspections, but you're getting it done timely. Okay. We're moving people through the process. Okay. And so obviously we're moving people through the process. We're talking about the inspections and then we're talking about the closing date. We want to make sure that they're closing within 30 days. Right. And now there's always a caveat to that. There's always a little asterisk there. Sometimes people need more, or maybe we need to time it around a lease or whatever. But the average should be 30 days or less. Okay. I don't want you guys writing contracts for 45, 60 days just for shits and giggles. That doesn't help you. It doesn't help anybody. Okay. So does that kind of help a little bit, OJ?
Yes.
All right. So we'll get a showing training going on, and we'll do another one for the Lake Nona team too. So we'll chat through that. But that's how we should be. That's how we can be a little bit more impactful, right? So if your showings are like, hey, here's the bedrooms, and they're done in 5 minutes, you're doing a disservice to yourself, and you're going to show a lot of houses, right? But if you're spending more time talking about, hey, what color cabinets do you like? Hey, what kind of floors do you like? How big of a backyard do you need? Like, you're starting to whittle down, right? Instead of looking at a million houses, now you can say, well, OJ, you sent me that house that has white cabinets, but you told me you didn't want white cabinets. So are you on board with white cabinets now, or are we like changing gears, or what's going on? So now you can start to filter through that as opposed to just showing all these houses that have white cabinets, right? So anyway, I think I want to make sure I get to everybody, but OJ, that was a good question. I think Sean, I think you were the last one, buddy. So how was your week last week?
Interesting.
Okay.
Got a couple leads, so that was good. But I'm in the process of I'm under contract with 3 deals right now, closings, and my sellers have told me that they do not want to do business with the current title company. So I am in the middle of switching title companies.
Who's your title company?
Celebration.
And why don't they want to use them? What happened?
Well, I had a closing on the 22nd. That didn't happen. The 30th, that didn't happen. Here we are. What's today? The 12th. We're still not closed on that acre lot. Then the clients called me up and said they did research on Celebration Title, and they said they do not want to move forward with Celebration Title based on the news that they saw about Celebration Title.
Okay, fair enough.
Yep.
So
I've been playing.
I'm gonna have Matt call you to collect some feedback, and then if would you say it's Celebration's fault that they didn't close? Be honest. If it is, it is.
A little bit of both. Yeah, I got frustrated. So did my clients, and I had to tell my clients, "Listen, we're talking on Follow Up Boss, which is recorded." He goes, "Good, keep it recorded because I am not happy." And then when they Googled Celebration Title, the first thing they saw was embezzlement. So they said, "Nope, we are not moving forward." So I've already drafted up an email this morning to Celebration, copying everyone on it that we are not moving forward. And
Fair enough. All right. So for
I'm
you
not
guys that
focused.
don't know, Celebration Title had some legal issues. That person's no longer with the company, and they're rebranding. We still feel like they do a good job, but there's always a one-off. I've had times where it hasn't been the best, so that feedback is critical for them. So I will have Matt call you because that's a problem. So we'll get ahead of it.
There's just the one problem is they were asking for a road agreement, a road access agreement, which they said their attorney was going to charge anywhere between $50 and $700. And it was going to take 2 to 3 weeks and an extra $3,000 or $2,500 for the fee for the search. So I went to another title company. There is no such thing as any of that stuff that is required. So we are moving forward with another company. So
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, very interesting. So
all right, I'm gonna have Matt call you. We'll chat through that. But
yeah, that's fine.
Week wise, would you say you had a good week other than that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Being proactive, reaching out to people that I know are looking for vacant lands on this deal that I'm currently working on. So I got someone coming up from Miami this week. I'm showing another property in Bay Hill on Saturday. And I got an offer yesterday on one of my commercial lots. So I got to negotiate that. And then, of course, all this title stuff that I'm working with right now. So, yeah.
Okay.
A little bit of both, right? I mean, good and bad, but I shouldn't say it's bad. It's just a little hiccup, and I just need to get through that.
Yeah. Hey, listen, Tim, Dave, we're negotiating contracts. We're all grateful for that, right? That's the most important thing. So there's a lot of agents that would kill to be in your shoes, you know.
Yeah, I'm glad I got 3 deals right now for the year, but these were 2 of them were supposed to close at the end of December. So.
I got you. Okay. All right. Well, I will close with this. I hope you have a great rest of your week. Let's keep those contacts up. I know it's going to be hard when you're working through a lot of these issues, but as far as the next title company and making sure you have a good experience, let's make sure that those clients are really happy. I have a local attorney in Winter Park. If you need one, she does a phenomenal job. So if you need some referrals that won't drop the ball, let me know. But if you guys can't tell, I am really pushing to have the biggest year ever. So for me personally, last year was my biggest year ever. I think I closed with 37, maybe 38 deals closed last year. And part of that was being persistent, tracking my calls, right? So I keep track of my calls. I keep track of all my leads and all that good stuff. Also, I have theme days. So every single day is something different and that helps me keep on track. I use Follow Up Boss tasks to keep me organized. Number two is I'm talking to all my past clients. Some of you don't have past clients yet. That's okay. But I stay in touch with all my past clients, right? And I'm always asking for business. Do not be afraid to ask for business. I'm asking for business from all of my clients, not just my past clients. When is the best time? And I'll close with this. When is the best time to ask for a referral from a client? It's yellow.
I put it as part of my value proposition. And I always say, listen, I will do a great job for you because what I need from you is referrals. And if I do a great job, that's the best way that that you can help me.
Absolutely.
So I like right off the bat, like I will work so hard for you that you're going to love referring me.
Yep. So and you can say, hey, part of my business that I love the most is that when I do a good job, I actually get a referral from a client. That means the world to me. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be asking you for a referral throughout this process, right? And so that could be somebody that's just kind of looking at renting or buying or selling or investing. If you hear of any of those, please let me know, right? And
My
text that
listing
number to me.
client. My listing client that I had, like, I went and saw her and I got everything. She already gave me a referral to her cousin. Her cousin's like, you
Beautiful.
need to talk to this woman. So yeah, like, I feel like it's always kind of building on that, but then you really have to deliver. And I have been delivering, but yeah.
Yeah. So don't wait till you're at the closing table to ask for the referral or after the closing to ask for the referral. Ask for the referral throughout the process, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Always remind them like, hey, this is my bread and butter. If you know of anybody, like they're if you're doing a good job, they're very willing to give you. I mean, I hadn't even done anything yet except meet her and get the listing. And she already gave me a referral.
Love it. All right, guys. Have a great week. Make it your best week ever. And let's have the biggest year ever together.
Have a good day, guys. Bye. Call
Take
me
care.
if you need me.
Bye.
Is it fine if I? Oh, all right, I'll reach out.